Hello everybody, welcome back to the kitchen table. Today on the kitchen table we're going to talk about how you can reset where your Phantom thinks its home location is. I'll talk a little bit about why you might want to do that and then the how to do it, which is why mine is switched on, tipped upside down. Don't worry though, I have disconnected the main power so the gimbal's not going to be confused, and the AVL58 isn't blasting away and burning itself out because it hasn't got its antenna attached before anyone tells me off. So, in a break with tradition, there is no beverage today. None at all. I'm just not thirsty. I'm sure normal service will be resumed as soon as possible. So, what I'm going to tell you works for the Phantom 2, the Phantom 2 Vision, and the Phantom 2 Vision Plus for certain. It might also work with the FC40 and the P1, but I don't know because I haven't been able to test it. But you might find that it does. So, and it also works whether you've got NASA mode, as I have, hence the flashing lights. I've already done a video on what the NASA mode LED signals look like. And it also works if you're in the standard default Phantom mode or Vision mode. So out the box, or if you've done some changes, this will work. Now, as you know, before setting off on your flight, ideally you need to wait for the rapid flashing greens, which mean that your aircraft knows where its home point is. And that also will set its altitude for the return to home plus 60 feet mark, should you have a fail-safe scenario. Now, there might be some situations where you actually want to reset the home position. Examples are you are flying it from a boat or a car, something moving, or you've been walking with it to a new location. The other option is that you may have landed somewhere away, and if there's a problem, you want it to go back to that new landing spot. All sorts of different scenarios why you might want to tell your aircraft that wherever it is now is its new home, and this will work in the ground or on the air. And all you have to do is make sure you can wiggle the S2. Now, interestingly, this, as I said, also works in the default standard Phantom mode. Previously, you may have thought, well, this switch doesn't do anything. It usually doesn't. But if you want to tell your Phantom that it needs to relocate its home location to somewhere different, what you do is you move this up and down about 5 times fairly quickly, all the way down, all the way up. Watch the lights, and I will now tell my P2, in this case, I want it to set wherever it is now as its new home location. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ta-da! Now, this also works in the air, and it has an interesting side effect. Let's say you've been flying around somewhere and you're about to go into an area with trees that are quite tall, perhaps taller than 60 feet above where you launched. What you can do is, whilst you're in the air at, say, 100 feet, you can do that quick toggle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and reset your home location. What that will also do is reset the altitude for failsafe. Daisy, it's not, don't worry, it's perfectly safe to do it, honestly. Apologise there, but the dog was a bit concerned, I think. So it resets the altitude point. So if you're 100 feet in the air, that will be effectively the new 0 for failsafe. So it will do 100 feet plus 60 feet, return to the new home point, and then will descend. And no, it will not suddenly hit the 100 feet mark and then stop the engines. I've tested this, other people have tested this. What happens is, in an auto-land situation, the Phantom keeps on going until it detects that it's no longer descending for a couple of seconds, and then it will assume it's hit the ground. How do we know this for certain? If it didn't do that, you wouldn't be able to stop the rotors when you hand catch it some 6 to 8 feet above the ground level. Think about it. It would be a crazy thing to do for the Phantom to just stop its props at what it thinks is the ground, bearing in mind that you could have taken off on a little hillock, or you might have even taken off into a dip, and then the thing will just grind itself into the new ground where you're landing. So don't worry about that. It does not mean that it will plummet out the sky. So you can use this to reset where your Phantom thinks home is, and it works in any mode. And again, this is just a demonstration of how I do it. Your speed and pace may vary, but pretty much like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, you see, it failed live on camera. Let's try it again a bit quicker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it didn't do it again. So I'm going to try a few more of them. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Quicker, you see. See, I do these things live for you. That's the thing that I've found. The pace is quite critical. A bit more critical than going into compass calibration. Daisy, can you box, please? Honestly. So there we go. Have a little practice of it, obviously, at home before you go in the air. And you need to watch out for those blinks. You might find if you've got a Vision or something that, or a P2 that gives you telemetry, you might find that you'll see that your distance from home will reset to 0, which is a good indication that it's gone in. Because of course, if it's facing away from you, it's far away, you might not see that blink. Let's just do it again as live, just to prove that it's not a fluke. So we'll do a few more this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doesn't want to do it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! So there you go. A little bit more picky I found sometimes, but I wanted to just show you that you might need to persevere and get the timing right. But when you get the timing right, it will do it. So that's how you can reset the home location for your P2, your Vision Plus, possibly others in the range, and in whichever mode you're in. I hope that was useful. Go carefully with it. Practice it first, as I said, out in before you go into the air, and also maybe the first time you do it, reset the home location to be just a little bit further away from you, and just double check that everything on your aircraft works fine. Hope that was useful, and I hope to see you soon again back on the kitchen table. Cheers.